All right. 43 years to the day that I was born, my grandfather did one of the things that I look at as the definition of courage. He stepped onto the beaches of Normandy and entered into World War II. He was a typical Southern gentleman. He worked hard, lived in Charmin, Arkansas, which is just north of Taylor, Arkansas. After doing 2 tours in World War II, he got out of the military as a corporal and moved back. Met the woman of his life, of his dreams. He was married Keith, my grandmother. They lived in Charmin, Arkansas for the rest of their life. He worked at an aluminum plant where he was good friends and worked with my fiance's grandfather. A lot of the stories that he would talk about in the Charmin area was he got to watch the town grow. He got to watch the first car come into Taylor, Arkansas. And for some reason or other, that got him laughing every time he talked about it, because he would talk about how big the train tracks were, getting them in and getting everything ready for the car to come in. And when the car got here, they all realized that nobody had built any roads to get the car to the house of the person that bought it. To him, that was the biggest laughing part of Taylor before they built any roads. He enjoyed telling me that story. He had one child, Mary Sue Slack, that's my mother, born and raised in the same house there in Charmin, Arkansas, went to Taylor School. Mary Sue, his daughter, met my father in Spring Hill, Arkansas, and in 1987, that's when I was born, and to my grandfather, that was the best day of his life because he got his new little bud. Something that was funny about my name, Devin, is my grandfather didn't like my name, and from day one, my grandfather told my mom that I'm not going to call him Devin, I will call him Bud. And I don't think there was a single time in my entire life that he called me Devin. He called me Bud from the day I was born to the day he passed away. After I turned 5, he got his second best day of his life as his little princess was born, his granddaughter. And she followed him everywhere he went, asking questions, getting in his way, everything. And he never once lost his cool, got mad, nothing. He would always, everywhere he went, she went. My grandfather was known as a very kind man. A lot of people knew him as somebody that if you wanted the shirt off his back and you asked for it, he would give it to you. He would go out of his way to help anybody that he could. Two of the biggest things in my life, other than my grandfather, Peppaw Willis, and my other grandfather, is they were both big motivators in the reason that I joined the military. I got to see how my grandfather lived and what type of man he was, how he treated other people. And I knew that, to me, it seemed like there was 2 things that gave him that kind of person as a man, was his family, and to me was his military background. Well, I had the exact same family that he had, and I strived to be the man that he was. So having the same family that he had, you know, mother and his daughter, my grandparents, which is his wife, I looked at it like I needed the military too to become the man that he was. So he was one of the 2 motivators, him and my other grandfather, that drove me to be in the military. Knowing that he was in the Army, that was the biggest reason that I joined the Army, was to go in and serve in the same place that he did. Throughout my time in the military, I was lucky enough to serve in the exact same base that he was in. Other than joining the military, that was there are many good traits and memories that came from my grandfather. He was and December 8th of 2006, my grandfather passed away. Even though he's not here in person anymore, I believe that he has a legacy that will live on forever and will be dearly missed.